Alright, so this is my 1998 Ford Expedition. It's kind of my daily beater rig type thing, winter rig. And so anyway, I was driving it the other day and I noticed that it was leaning to one side. I don't know if you can see it from the front, but this side was sitting tall and this side was sitting low, and kind of this whole side seemed like it was leaning, and it was especially this back corner seemed low, like it had a trailer on it, but it doesn't obviously at this time. And so anyway, I went and kind of was snooping around. It rode really rough. I thought, I don't know if it was tires or what it was, and basically got underneath there and was looking at the air ride this year of Expedition 97 to 02. They could come equipped with 4-corner air suspension. That's what this one has, and underneath there is an airbag behind this tire, and it was leaking. I could put my hand next to the airbag and feel air rushing out. So just a pretty quick diagnosis there. Obviously the airbag is leaking, so I'm going to replace both of those airbags. And you know, a lot of people would switch to coilovers, like basically the first problem that they have with the air ride, they just switch to coilovers. Well, one, that's going to cost a few more money, and obviously I'm not spending money on this. I'm just driving it. It's my beater, you know. So I just want to put airbags in it and get things going, rather than do like a big suspension overhaul. So we're gonna get the airbags fixed up and replaced. Should be a hopefully easy job. All right, well, we're in the garage now, and basically I'm going to go under the passenger, the glove box area here. And if you look right there, that little switch with the yellow, that disables the air ride. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. All right, so basically this section of the frame rail right here, you can see is a little bit crunchy right there, like right there and right there. So I elected to not lift it anymore from that spot, and I actually just extended my jack stands up and went on the receiver hitch. So no rust really on that, so that's fine. And now I'm gonna get the wheels off. Like I say, everything is fully drooped out here, and we can get the wheels off and take a better look. All right, so I got the wheel and tire off here, and you can see this here is the airbag, and you know, there's some deterioration there. Doesn't look super great, kind of crumbly, and like when you run your finger over it, this part is like kind of right where it'd be on the bottom. So I don't know if it's like road debris that erodes this or how that actually happens. It's drooping down a little bit lower than obviously it normally rides around. But if you look at the other side, you'll notice it's more severe. Clearly there's an issue here. And then I took some soapy water here and just sprayed it around, and you know, that would be an indication of your leak right there. You know, it isn't a terrible leak, but it's there, and it causes it to wig out and do a bunch of weird stuff. So anyway, we're gonna get things disassembled and get them out of here. Okay, so first thing you want to do is come on the side here, and if you look up above the actual spring, there's that little white, you know, little plug right there, and there's a little metal, you know, retaining clip, and we're gonna pull that little clip out. That's what holds the top mount in on the frame here. Basically, is if you were like flying through the air, that would be what keeps it from like falling out. And so we're gonna pull that little clip, and that'll release the top of the airbag. Alright, so with that clip undone, now I just gotta, on the top, now I gotta undo this little clip right here. Little spring clip that keeps it from coming undone on its own, basically. And now we'll do a quarter turn to relieve this. It'll probably make some air here. And now the air's out. I could try and get this back out of here. Alright, so I got the bag basically pried loose from the top. So now you can just bring it down and undo this connection. And there it's out. All right, well, we got them out. They're on the bench here, and like I said earlier, I mean, there's definitely a hole in here somewhere. Who knows? Who cares where it is? But right there. Other one was not far behind it. These are marked Firestone, and they have a Ford logo on them somewhere. So right here. So it's possible those are original. I don't really know. The hardest part actually was getting this cup to give. You can see all the rust and everything. So like it had been pressed up in there so long that I just had to get a pry bar next to it and kind of pry against it. So those are out. Here is my replacement. Obviously it's, you know, Chinese basically. You know, for, I think it was like less than $100 for the pair of them. So I'm not gonna argue with that. If they last, you know, even a couple of years, that'll probably be enough. So we'll want to make sure this little metal clip is not still sitting on the rear end. It looks like it's not in here anymore, so it probably is. We'll pry those off, but anyway, let's start getting the Expedition ready for the new ones. All right, so this destroyed piece of rusted metal was actually sitting on top of this little perch right here. It was sitting down inside there, so you'll just want to make sure that you don't put, you know, two of them in there. This is the piece. It's that little shiny piece, so just watch out for that. Okay, so the two O-rings that I pulled out of the kit, they go on here. So one goes there and one goes right next to it. So you just want to strip those off with like a little pick and put the two new ones on there. Okay, and so I didn't notice it at first, but we got these two O-rings here, and then actually this larger O-ring that comes in the kit goes over the top and just rests around like right there, so it kind of bottoms out in the hole. So just something to remember. So you got your two small O-rings here, your larger one sitting towards the back, like right here, and then, you know, if you undo this airline, then you'll need to use the small one. But like I said, I'm hoping to just put this up in here and crank it on there. Alright, so this is looking in from the side, but you can see I ran that in there, and then it goes like in, up, and then you put that little clip in there. And you can test that clip by like trying to screw this back, and if you'd push this, it would rotate it around there and basically try and unscrew it. And that clip should prevent that, and so that's what it's doing right now. And so now all I'll have to do is take this thing, shove it back up in the hole here. Let's see if I can do this one hand. There it is peeking through. Put that little clip back on. And make sure that there's a dowel on the top of this airbag. I can show you on the other one. There's an alignment dowel right here. This little dowel keeps it, you know, from rotating. And then of course you just jab that through there and put your little pin in through it. Your little clip right here and this dowel there. So anyway, we already got the one side done, and we'll move on to the second side. All right, well there it is. I got that rusty little clip put back in there. And then, so now if I turn this, yeah, I can't like rotate. I can't turn this like a lot. That's how I know it's on that dowel. And of course it's short here because we don't have an air in it. So as soon as we, what I'll do is I'll get the other one replaced, other bag on the other side. I won't have you watch that, but then we'll lift the rear end up to meet and fire it up. All right, so the bags are in place. Now I'm just gonna lift the rear end up. They're of course a little short because there's no air in them. So I'm gonna lift the rear end up to pretty much meet it, and so I can get the little cups sitting right on the rear end. All right, well, they both are inflated now. They both have like pressure in them. I can squeeze them in there like rock hard now. So I'm gonna put the wheels on and see how it sits. All right, well, I have the ignition on, and you know, it just lifted itself off of these jack stands. So you know, just obviously watch that it moves, but no problem. I was kind of waiting for it to do that. So yeah, we'll put it together. All right, so I went for a test drive. Everything's straight, everything's good. It's sitting back at its normal height. I'll put my caps on later. But one other thing is I ordered some rear shocks for this thing. These are the shocks. They're a Monroe 37202. Really hard to find, actually. You know, you can go on any site, Rock Auto, you name it or whatever. And they have about 100 options for if it doesn't have air ride, but these were apparently supposed to be if it does have air ride. So I got a link in the description if you want to check it out. But anyway, I'm gonna get these put on and see, you know, I assume they're basically, oh, I've never changed them, so it's been quite some time. So anyway, we're gonna get these swapped out. All right, so I got it jacked up again. The air suspension is off again, so let's get under it and take a look. All right, so here's my brand new airbag sitting pretty rock hard. And so all you gotta do is undo this bolt right here, which, you know, obviously that's not something we want to see generally, and undo up there and pull it out. The other side, the fuel tank side, is right here. It's this guy, and quite a bit tighter, but again, fair amount of rattle there. And I have no idea how I'm gonna get to that bolt way up top. All right, so the top bolt is in there, and I left this little blue strap on there. And then now I'm gonna try and get the cross bolt in here. Kind of a sucker to do. Kind of get one shot, otherwise you're just gonna fight it. There we go. All right, so here's the shocks I pulled out. One does actually cycle. It has some resistance left. It'll extend, but this sucker, there was nothing to it, and it just doesn't really even extend. So it's junk. Anyway. And I got the new ones in there, and we're gonna lower it down and go for a test drive. All right, well, I got back from the test drive just now. Everything's good. Seems to ride good, like maybe a little stiffer, you know, which a bag that's wore out or, you know, potentially a little bit flat, plus a shock that doesn't work, that wouldn't surprise me. So anyway, not too bad of a job. Kind of sucked doing it on the floor. Just, you know, you got rust and stuff all falling on your face. Rust belt vehicles is tough. But aside from that, not too bad. Not really all that technical, and nothing really went wrong. So anyway, if you need to kind of spruce up your expedition to get it going a couple more miles, try this out. Thanks for watching.